What's going on, everybody? This is Timmy G. You're in Timmy G's spot again. Um, been having a great day here in Alabama. Been sunny and rainy and Sunday and kids running around and jumping in the water a little bit and having a good time. But we made it here and we've been putting the youngins to bed and winding everything up. And I told myself I was going to make myself get on this every night and try to get this going and growing. And so that's what I'm going to do, no matter how ugly it is. And I'm happy y'all are here to watch it. If you're tuning in, and drop a comment in there and let's get it going. But today and some news, we were getting into some crash crypto, as always, per the last 5 days of my life, 4 or 5 days of my life. It's just about taking it over, and I'm seeing some pretty good little opportunity right here to buy in this currency, man. And if you haven't got into the Telegram and checked out the community and hollered at them, man, nothing but positivity as always, nothing but but good vibes and no worries about anything. The holder count and the follower count is still climbing. The influx of funds is still going good. Buyers from what I'm seeing, is 761. And sellers is 562. So that's we had they had a little campaign going with some airdrop rewards for the most transactions happen. So you couldn't really run by the transaction numbers for the past 2 or 3 days. But well, I guess it was a day and a half. But that's still a little wonky. But overall, the amount of buyers versus sellers has increased. So that's good news in my opinion. And holding at about 0.028 cents. And that's the thing with these currencies, man. All these numbers back here matter. They matter, and seeing how much impact of these buys and sells down here is having on this currency, and just the activity in the group whenever things are pouring in is just fucking fun. So if you hadn't checked out the Telegram, like I said, check it out. Shout out to Dicey, and shout out to everybody in the community that keeps this thing running and keeps an eye on some stuff. And if it's not from Dicey, always check with people in the community, especially Telegram or even on Twitter. Ask the question, get a hold of somebody that you can tell is an actual person. And ask them before you connect your wallet to anything. I wouldn't connect my wallet to nothing unless I knew for 100%. Ask for vouchers on people's character, ask for information. Hey, y'all know who this guy is, because everybody will tell you. And if it's not news that's public knowledge, then I'm not playing with it, But that being said, I put on my Twitter that by 12 o'clock midnight today, if Crash wasn't at a $35 million market cap, then I was going to give away $100 worth of Crash to anybody that could find in the Telegram where I posted that at. And so far, there's 6 people that's dug in there and found it or liked it whenever I posted it. But it's I'll tell you, somewhere between 11:30 last night and we'll say 5 a.m. somewhere between there in the Telegram, you can find a message from G-Spot with that information, or a screenshot from Twitter. And I also posted it on Twitter, so we're going to be giving out $100 tonight if this don't just shoot a piss missile up in the air. We're going to hope for piss missiles. That's what we're going to hope for. Because, man, with this community, there is just no telling when. There is no telling when. Had a guy come in the Telegram talking about it. He had a $500,000 that he was about to throw on Crash. So get ready. it happens, great. If it doesn't, that's great too. You know, we're here for the long haul. We ain't here for no short game. So that's the game we're playing. Love it, love what's going on. Again, if somebody can post a comment in the comment section, I'm using a outside streaming thing, so I'm trying to see how comments will go through the video and come up on my screen for just my knowledge. But yeah, here's the chart again. We're gonna change it up a little bit and look at a couple things that I'm seeing. This right here, this chart is my favorite because until this right here shoots up into, let's see right here. Hold on a second. Hold on a minute. About up here, I don't give a fuck about this chart. I care about my community and the narrative here. With Dicey and Crash and everybody, man, this is such an interesting story. Guy goes from flipping burgers to holding a cryptocurrency in his position, and it is heavy, heavier than my ex-girlfriend. Let's see. Yeah, man, awesome. So this right here, what we're looking at, that is Crash's actual position, and I would wager to believe this is Dicey's position right here. So just beautiful. Congratulations. That's fucking phenomenal. And everybody down here, everybody is in good shape. If you're holding this currency from the past 3 days, you're solid, you know, and you know that as well as anybody. So, you know, I can vouch for it myself and tell you that I would put more money in if I hadn't already told myself that that's the end. That being said, I've tried to reposition, and today I had a successful reposition in it and gained about probably about 20,000 Crash. So, you know, we caught a dip, and I gambled a little bit because I'm a degenerate, but never fading on the narrative here. If I go out and do something and it shoots up, and I will take my losses and buy more Crash, and that's just where I'm at with it. So yeah, gonna wait on some folks to get up in here if anybody gets up in here, and if not, that's all right too. I've been doing this stuff with this little soundboard right here and been playing around with it.
What a fun.
And I can say it one time for the people in the back. So we're having a good time. My daughter was in here playing with the me and the soundboard here today, and she was just like laughing her little ass off. But yeah, we got a busy week at the in my line of work throughout the rest of the week, and we're gonna make all that work and work for us, and we're gonna work for it. And back to this damn graph. That's what we need. All right, so today it looks like it's, you know, and I talked to a guy about this earlier today, is that if I look at any chart, being the degenerate that I am, I can make it speak to me. I can say, oh man, look at these little flags. These are bull flags right here on a 5-minute chart. And some people would look at that and say, hey man, yeah. And then other people would look at it and say, man, you're out of your fucking mind. You don't know what you're talking about. So, you know, I think what it is, and somebody gets lucky and has a backing for calls behind them. And I'm not a shot caller. I'm not ever going to try to be a shot caller with crypto. Don't care anything about being a shot caller with crypto. I guess the main reason I want to be here is to say, look at that shit, because this is one that I believe that we're all going to be saying, damn, look at that shit. Look at this piss missile right here, dude. Just a fucking, and then Jeep. And that's fine, dude. That's part of it. Everybody knows that's part of it. Everybody in the community knows that's part of it. If you made money short term, congratulations. If you're going to make money long term, then welcome, and come hang out with us, because this is just hilarious, dude. In this Telegram, these guys are funny as shit. But that happened twice today, and this happened. Well, there it is, twice. Yeah, man, a lot of good times. A lot of good times to come. It's going to be a big week with what Bitcoin did this week, and I'm going to pull that, or today anyway. I don't know what I'm doing. I guess I can't pull it up on here. I don't know how to one. Anyway, we can go to Brett, because Brett did the same. But yeah, dude, look at that shit. Look how phenomenal. So at 12 o'clock today, noon, exactly 12 o'clock, somebody could have hit this increase right here. Look. Oh, what the fuck? So if my mind just thinks, damn, if I had 100 grand, I could have just turned it into a 120 real quick, which it takes balls to play like that, but it does not take balls to get involved in something that has a great narrative. And the story behind Crash and the backing of Crash, as far as the holders go, is crazy, dude. Just insane. Love it. Not seeing anything here not to jump on. I mean, if you think about it, the plateau right here is an awesome hold. That is not a very far range to have to fucking worry about, from just about an all-time high yesterday to just a steady, it's not a steady decline. It's a new position of we're going to hang out and hold. Now, you're always going to have people that got in right here because they thought that it was going to skyrocket up there, and they're going to wait a minute and sell off, say, oh, we're going to something else, until they read about it in the fucking newspaper and say, man, if I would have just kept $200, $300 in there, dude, I'd have been straight. You have no clue. I'm 29 years old. You have no clue the people that came up to me and tried to get me to buy Bitcoin when it was at $900, $800. Oh man, it's increased, by 800%. And I was like, yeah, man, but it's probably done. I don't see any validity to it. Oh man, and I was in Universal Studios 3 years ago, and I was on Venmo, and they had just added the crypto section on Venmo, and I started buying, Bitcoin on there, and it would climb a little bit. I think it went from 27 to like 36, and I was like, dude, $36,000 for one of these things. I could have been caked. The story that is as long, the tale that has been told as long as crypto has began is you should have got in sooner. You should have got in sooner. You could have got in sooner. Hey, it's dip now. You gonna get in? And for it to go from 26, 24, 27 up to the 63K, 72K that it's been, it's just fucking crazy, dude. Crazy. And I wish we all wish we would have done everything, but we're doing what we're doing, and that's the cool part about life is you keep on rocking and keep on clocking and do what you can, and I would just be interested to know where this all goes, if it's just something that just keeps on climbing, because where I'm at, and I don't know if anybody's going to watch this from anywhere else, but the American dollar is taking a fat shit, Now, me being from Alabama, I would rather buy guns and ammo than I would buy gold, bullion. I can't hunt with it. I can't do anything with it. It has as much value as somebody says that it holds, but guns and ammo hold significant value in the fact that you can hunt with it, you can protect yourself with it, you can trade with it. It is never going to be it's a great resource. It's almost as good as dry foods, but you can get food with that. But as far as my position on crypto is if this world keeps on rocking and if the United States keeps on rocking the way that it's going, then you're going to need, you do what you want to do. I'm going to need my bets hedged in something that's a little bit more present worldwide instead of just nationwide. And I think that's a big sales ticket for it, is that this is across the world. Anybody can get on their browser anywhere around the world that's not affected by, United States politics like we over here think that they are. No, that's not to say other people don't have their own shit going on, but it's a good hedge, and I think that cryptocurrency probably holds if a percent of my net worth. So I mean, it is something that is interesting to watch, and when you see something as refreshing as the story behind Crash and Dicey and the community here is something that I was running through, and it lined up with me almost as good as me going into business for myself, or almost as good as me, doing everything that I've ever been led to in life. So it was one of those things that was really inspiring. It inspired me to actually use this studio that we have here, or that I have here. I'll tell you, I just keep saying we like I'm referring to myself as two people. It's just me. My girlfriend hates it. But that's part of it, man. I'm gonna, let's see. We're gonna start getting some people and seeing if they want to join in and all that stuff one day. Whenever I figure out how to do that on StreamYard, or how to, maybe it's just better if I go straight to X and do that on X instead of what we're doing right now. Let's see. Yeah, if anybody's commenting, I can't see anything on my end, but I'm sure that'll all work itself out there. Oh, or maybe I'll just sit here like a redneck, dude. I've been dove into this computer so much since all this happened. I've been spam posting crash. Everything is crash crypto, dude. And I feel like that, dude. I'm like, dude, if you ain't in crash right now, you are losing it. You ain't getting it. I think this is gonna fucking be huge, bro. Huge. Huge. Biggest thing ever. Hands down. Bigger than big. Man, something I can talk about on here that I really can't talk about in my personal life. Because I'm in business for myself, and if I say something, it'll make me lose half of my clientele. But there's Democrats and there's Republicans, dude, and that's great and wonderful. But everybody's money's green, so you can't just go out and until you get to a certain position of fuck it in life, which I hope to be at that certain position of fuck it, where I really don't care. But dude, the presidential debate, what the fuck is happening? If there was a side bet, if I could have walked into Harrah's casino and went to a machine and started looking through fucking odds of something to say that, like, okay, there's 50 to 1 odds that Joe Biden just drops on stage, like falls asleep, or 500 to 1 odds that Trump would have got arrested on stage, I probably would have put $150 that he gets arrested on stage. Like, dude, this is such skepticism right now and bullshit with what's going on with these two guys. Craziness, madness of, like, they casually threw in there that, hey, your Social Security is not going to be there in 10 years. Which my grandmother told me when I was 14 years old, right when I started, like, working under the table, which I was under the table, didn't matter, that, son, you ain't got to worry about Social Security. It's not going to be there when you get of age. There's not a fucking way. But for them to be throwing these ideas around like, hey, we're blatantly telling you on your paycheck you're paying for something that is not going to be there when you need it or when you want it. So in my eyes, that says don't rely on it. So again, that's with crypto, that's another hedge. And also real estate. Where I'm at in real estate, we bought a walk-in cooler for my restaurant, and the guy does a lot of work for outside international customers that come to America to buy land. And the lady got off a plane with like a $10 million check to buy $10 million worth of houses in Birmingham, and these are houses that are going $15,000 to $30,000. So I mean, a lot of houses at one time. They want to buy parcel numbers. They want to have a spread coverage of outside money coming in, and what they want to do is, and what they're working towards, and what I believe is going to happen, and is in 15 years, if you own a home in 15 years, you're going to be of about 15% of the population. I don't know what the number is right now. I'm going to look that up, matter of fact. Percentage of people that own a home in America. %66% homeownership rate of it. 66%. That seems a little high to me right now. But what I believe is going to happen is that number's constantly going to crack down smaller and smaller and smaller, because you got the old people that are, God love them, leaving the world. We're going to miss them, but they know that there's more time behind them than there is ahead of them. And then you got the people under them that they can't buy homes at the rates that they're at. There's not a way. I mean, they could maybe, like where I'm at, you can go to West End, or you can go to them Inslee and buy a house, $40,000, $50,000 is actually livable in, but you're in an area that you can't raise kids out there really, especially it ain't going to happen. It's not ideal with the way that people are raised by the people. So they're raised by people that have went JOB pension and everything's worked out, and they were able to secure a home maybe at 6%, refinance all the way down to 3.5%. But there's no way that they can afford one at $110,000 with a 8% interest rate. And even if they could, they're like, oh well, we'll just rent and wait till the market goes down so we can buy a $250,000 home. It just, dude, it's the people that were able to do it at competitive rates are selling it, and they're selling it to the highest bidder, or they're leaving it to their kids. So I mean, that might stabilize some, but not all of it. I think that we're repopulating faster than we can house the individuals in America. And I don't know if that's the case around the world, but I know here we're like fucking rabbits, dude. we're spreading like chlamydia at a fraternity in America. So it's just one of those things. They're not going to be able to house all the people. So another thing, along with me talking about cryptocurrency, which I've mentioned, and I'm going to keep saying, I'm a shitty trader. This is my podcast or my video blog. It's not really about cryptocurrency, but I'm going to relay any news to my followers on Twitter that what information I have, but hell, most of them are as deep in it as I am, so they really know what's going on. But if you can secure any kind of real estate right now, it is going to be beneficial. In 2008, I watched a guy. I'm not going to mention any names ever, but unless I've asked explicit permission to do so. In 2008, $180,000 house in Panama City, Florida. $180,000 is what he paid for the house, and from 2008 to now 2024, the house is worth $850,000. So that's a pretty solid return on a home, as solid as it gets. And if you're waiting on stuff like that to happen again across the board, it's probably not going to happen. But I will tell you that I personally have went out and got on Facebook Marketplace and found properties and looked at over 50 of them and secured 3 of them that have made me as much money as my businesses have made. My main source of income has made me in the past year, buying and selling and buying it right and getting to actually know the individual and talking to them one-on-one basis of what's happening with you and what's happening with me, and it's really possible to do so. I believe that anything is possible to do it. I think that you have to go out and make it possible. You really have to go out and grind on it and manifest and think, man, I've been needing a commercial space now for about 2.5, 3 years, because I can't sell my house because my businesses ran out of the back of my house, and a nice 24 by 30 building. And it's plenty of space, and we could probably make it work out of there for another, 3 or 4 years, unless we just kept on growing at the rate that we are. But came across Facebook, just a post, and asked him about it. Went out there and got to talking to the guy, and started securing that property. So now, the good thing is if I want to leave my house, if I want to go move somewhere that I want to move, I can now break free from my business. And it has a tangible asset attached to it, to where I can actually, because when you're running a service business like I'm running, and same with lawn care or anything else, is, your valuation of a company is your assets plus 3 years of profit, and unless you're really by the book trying to keep up with every single dollar in your business, it's hard to think you're selling anything more than a phone number and, hey man, trust me, it's doing good, but like in my case, the business is doing really well. And if you read the valuation on the books that I keep accurately, it's going to show that it's doing well. Now there's another company that's biting the fucking dust, and that's what its job is right now, until it gains enough assets to where those assets are making enough money to cover everything with it. And that one cancels out this one. But what was I saying? But if you'll start to feel like you're only selling a phone number, These people are calling me because they want to work with me, and they've had, a reference from this person telling them about working with me. So, this score on this commercial property will have the business somewhere where, okay, now you have the building, the trucks, the tools. Here's how much I pay in labor. Here's how much I make a month on average. Multiply that by 12, multiply that by 3 years plus the assets, and that's how much you can sell the business for. And that's where bartering starts and deals start being made. If you can get them to that point right there, you're pretty much in a position to where you're seriously thinking about, selling it. And I love what I do. I could do what I do all for the rest of my life. It wouldn't bother me. I love more being a good business owner and a good, being good at making money. That's what I like more than anything, and that's why crypto's been such a challenge to me. Is it's like, man, it's hard. It's it's easy if you're patient. It's easy if you can set it there and let it do its thing and not think about it, not touch it, and not move it around. And it's hard if you're like me and you're like, man, you're hitting the upswing and you're like, man, I've made 40%. Then you're hitting the downswing and you're like, man, I could have cashed out at 40% and bought back in 30% lower, and you're just watching these swings, and it's like, man, there's no other way to gauge it other than if you're in, you're in, if you're out, you're out, and that's why I'm pushing this one so hard. It's like, dude, it's something that's worth buying into. It's a movement. It is not not your everyday run of the mill Joe Schmo coin. I mean, this is more than this is as much as I know of investing in Bitcoin or Ethereum. Now, I guess the utility of those two would probably be the differentiating factor with that, and what people would argue, and they would probably be right. But the fact of the matter is there is this many tokens or coins, and that's how many there's going to be, and there's no change in that. And I guess Bitcoin has that number, and they're still mining, but that's why I love meme coins. Is who knows what they're going to do over the long haul, and you watch what's happened with the movie and Roaring Kitty and GameStop and all that stuff, and fucking excellent call and excellent cash out, just excellent execution, and wonder how well, Crash has done that for a lot of people at the same time. A lot, on several different currencies. And what better to do other than to make a coin based off the person that has called these coins and made people a lot of money? Because if it was me and I was trading well in Brett and I hit that increase today, I might take my profits and go put it in Crash, or I might not. It depends on what I'm feeling. But I am nothing in this game of meme coins. There are people that are big players they're going to. My hope is, I don't know, I'm not going to speak for the community. My hope is that they see what's going on here and actually look at the chart and see that the chart is a beneficial chart and it's an actual good chart, because I don't know how to read a chart that well, but I do know it's going up. So, and I'm okay being where it's at right now. I think that the $27 million market cap that it's out is a great place to stabilize. I would have rather stabilized over $30 million market cap, but you can want in one hand and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. It's gonna do what it's gonna do. But how positioned are you to hit the piss missile when the piss missile fucking rides through? And I'm not in as good a position as I was due to my mistakes trading, but I'm still in an excellent position. I'm fine with it. And there's people that are, when these start climbing, they're going to be hidden, bro. Hidden. And you start getting whales coming in here, throwing through. I was watching MAGA when it was downtrending from $17.17, and I was seeing transactions run through for $660,000. Man, it was just, I was like, man, that's the biggest I've ever seen. And then I watched it get eat on the way up. And then I watched it die back down to where it's at now. And if that kind of foot traffic starts going through crash like it has went through Brett, because we can pull up Brett and go to the wells. That's just gorgeous, dude. Let me get some of them's. Let me hold $20. Good Lord. Oh. Sorry, guys. I had to smash on something. How do I... Let's go over 2,000. Yeah, man. 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 33 minutes ago. I mean, that's this right here, though. That's when it started booming. 54,000, 68,000. I mean, gorgeous buys. And not as much sales from what I can see as the buy. Now, you don't know what's happening on the dolphins and on the little fishies or anything like that. But I mean, there you can see this chart that everyone's buying more than fucking selling, you know. And like I said, whenever crash does get on exchanges, dude, you're gonna wish that you would have listened to this fucking redneck sitting in front of a fireplace and just delve the fuck in a little bit, you know. And that's what I'm hoping. That's not what I'm basing my value on, but that's what I'm hoping, you know. And if that happens, then we're gonna have a good time together, and you're gonna be on here hearing us cut up and seeing videos of Timmy G riding his motorcycle across the country to go hang out with the boys in the community, and that we gonna make it. We're gonna be big. We're gonna be big anyway, and that's one thing that I'm really big on with all this is, dude, it really don't matter. It doesn't matter if this goes or if this fails. It doesn't. This is not what I base my value on in life, but this is what I'm interested in right now. And another thing about this podcast is, if I go out, you know, this will be my position here. But if I go out, you know, you might see me buy a motorcycle tomorrow, and I might be investigating heavy equipment in 2 weeks, and that be all that hey, what do y'all think about this damn Bobcat, dude? What do y'all think about this skid steer, you know? And hopefully I get more people in the chat that can give me some feedback on that. And, you know, celebrity stuff and what's going on out there with these people. It's really hard for me to not see both sides of any story. But, you know, there's always 3 sides to the story. It's their side, and the truth, you know. And yeah, man. So that's the live stream for today. I'm gonna cut this off. If anybody has any critiquing or any kind of ideas or anything that I can do to make this better, or just your experience with doing it, if you ever tried or whatever, I'd really like it to be. I'm getting more comfortable doing it, and I think I'll continue to get more comfortable doing it. And maybe one day post all this to my personal page and get those people in here and get them buying. And there'll be some, you know, if any of them see this and I'm in a position to where it's done well, they'll come in and be buying some crash too, because Timmy G's pushing crash, dog. I used to be pushing a lot worse things than crash, but today we are pushing crash cryptocurrency. Y'all have a good one, man, and I'm gonna get to bed, watch House of Dragons at 12 o'clock if this don't shoot up over 75 million. Now, wouldn't it be cool if I was doing this shitty, not well scripted pod, whatever, and before 12 o'clock, because I was on here, it just got up to 75 million, and that would have been my call. That's my call, guys. y'all should have listened to me. That would be based as fuck, dude. It would be
Based as fuck. We would see stupid base.
Y'all have a good night.